Hello and welcome to module number 5. And I just want to congratulate you for doing all the work, setting all those ad accounts, ads, campaigns so far. I know that there is a lot of information, but if you've made it this far, that means you're really serious about Facebook ads. And in this video training, we're going to cover something extremely important. I'm going to talk about scaling Facebook ads, how you go from $1 to 100 to thousands of dollars with Facebook ads. Because if you understand the ideas and concepts and all the information I'm going to share with you here, you'll be able to make money faster than you thought possible. Because with Facebook ads, I was able to scale campaigns from $10 all the way to $40K per day. And I made a lot of money with Facebook ads, and I made a lot of money with those exact strategies I'm gonna share with you today. So in this training, we're gonna talk about what is scaling Facebook ads. When people say, I wanna scale my Facebook ads, what do they really mean? Why should you scale your Facebook ads? How to scale your Facebook ads the right way? Because there are a lot of ways to do it, and I'm gonna give you some little tricks that will help you scale your ads. I'm gonna talk about the number one mistake people make when scaling Facebook ads. I'm gonna share the number one thing you must set up in Facebook ads to scale your Facebook ads to the moon and remain a good return on investment. And I'm gonna share the 3 methods that I personally use to scale Facebook ads. Those methods help me generate over $30 million in sales. So I'm gonna start, and for me, just to give you the idea, to give you the big picture, I'm just gonna give you this scenario. Imagine you're a pumpkin farmer, and your job, you wanna grow the biggest pumpkin possible, right? And in order for you to grow a big pumpkin, one of the most important things would be to pick the right seed. You need to pick a seed from a pumpkin that's already big. Because just like animals, plants also inherit traits from their parent plants. If you start with seeds from pumpkins that were already big, you have a huge genetic advantage to grow a big pumpkin. So if you want to grow big pumpkins, you need to pick the right seed, and you need to plant the right seed. And Facebook ads are a lot like growing really big pumpkins. All you need to find out is a really good seed or Facebook ad campaign that already delivers results. And here I want to stress this. You need to have a campaign that already delivers results. The biggest mistake people make when they try to scale Facebook ads campaign, they just collect the seeds from the smallest pumpkins, and after that they wonder why we're not scaling, what's happening. So how do you actually know if you have a really good seed in your Facebook ads? I'm gonna show you this in a second. We're gonna cover this in a video. But when you go into your Facebook ads, you need to be able to identify what are the biggest pumpkins in my ad account. You need to find out what are the seeds, where are the seeds. You need to be able to see what campaigns are delivering results. If you're not able to see what campaigns are delivering results, you won't be able to scale. But I'm gonna show you how you can identify the biggest seeds in your ad account. But before that, just let me explain what is scaling. Scaling is when you try to increase the reach and the effectiveness of your Facebook ads to get greater results. This typically involves adjusting budgets and strategies based on initial successful results to maximize return on investment. And here I stressed successful results because in order to scale ads, you need to have initial successful results. If you try to scale campaigns that don't work, you're just gonna waste your money because you're scaling something that's not working. So one of the most important things when we try to scale is to identify our most successful campaigns. And here I'm just gonna dive into the methods I use to scale. So pretty much there are 3 ways to scale Facebook ads, and those are the ways I use. They all have like fancy names, but they're really simple if you understand them. If you find this information somehow complicated, because this is very advanced, and if you learn this, if you master this, you'll be able to really grow your business faster than you thought possible. So I'm gonna start with the first method. This is vertical scaling. So when we say vertical scaling, this means that we're increasing the ad budget for campaigns or ad sets that are already performing well. If an ad is delivering good results with a $50 budget, we can get even better results if we increase the budget to $100. And pretty much this is vertical scaling. We just increase the budget of a campaign or ad set that's already performing well. The second scaling is horizontal scaling. Instead of increasing the budget, we create new ad sets or new campaigns targeting different audiences. But in a lot of the cases, we use creatives that are already working. We use settings from previous campaigns that are already working. In this case, an example of a horizontal scaling will be when we create a brand new, when we duplicate a campaign, but we're just gonna change the location. Instead of United States, we're gonna target Canada. Or instead of the interest business, we're gonna target the interest entrepreneurship. So this is an example of horizontal scaling. Also, we have lookalike audiences. We already talked about lookalike audiences in the previous module. Again, this Facebook feature helps us identify users that are similar to our existing customers, leads, people who engage, people who purchase. And this is a very, very good way to scale. So usually, now I'm just gonna give you an overview of each method. And I'm just gonna talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each method. And then after I finish with the theoretical part, I'm just gonna go into my Facebook ads manager, and I'm gonna show you how you actually scale, what you actually do to scale. So if you don't get it right now, don't worry, just stay calm, because after this video, I'm pretty sure you'll get it. So vertical scaling, this is a great way to scale, and you do that by increasing the budget of your ad sets or campaigns. So here you need to be extremely careful, because if you increase your budget too much, you might overspend. So what I actually do to scale vertically, I would increase the budget with in small chunks. I would increase it between 10 to 20% and see how my ads perform. If my ads underperform, I'm just gonna reduce the budget again. So I consistently play with the budgets. If my ads perform very well, I increase the budget by 20%. If they don't increase, if they don't perform, I reduce my budget. Because at the very end, I try to maintain a good cost per result. So with that being said, it's very important for you to monitor your results closely. As you increase your budget, you always need to keep an eye of what's happening. Usually, the way I do it, if I make a change, I would wait for 2-3 days, see how the change affects my results. And on the 4th day, I'm just gonna make the decision if I should scale the budget or downscale the budget. But I'm gonna say something super important here. A lot of people think that in order for you to be good with Facebook ads and to get amazing results with Facebook ads, you need to have great creative, you need to have great targeting. All those things are true, but I think the most important skill that you must adopt to scale your campaigns would be to monitor your results and to pay attention. I truly believe that if you give your ad campaigns the right attention, you'll be able to scale your business. So in my opinion, monitoring your results and paying attention to what works is extremely important. It's even more important than the ads you create in some cases, because here, if you know what already works, you'll be able to scale it, and Facebook ads will really help you grow your business. If you don't pay attention, if you don't monitor your results closely, you're just gonna waste money on ads, and you're gonna be like, Facebook ads are not working to me, I need to change something, etc., etc. And another thing I do to vertically scale my campaigns, I duplicate my campaigns or ad sets with a bigger budget. For example, if I'm duplicating a campaign that is spending 100 per day, I might duplicate the same campaign with a budget of 200. So here I don't need to increase the budget of the campaign by 10 to 20% because I'm duplicating. And duplicating is another amazing way to scale. And if you duplicate your ad sets, you'll be able to just get a lot more sales and a lot more leads. And here there is something really important I'm gonna share with you later on with this video, because there is a problem. When you duplicate your ad sets or your campaign, Facebook ads, they just start overspending your budget. And I'm gonna show you one setting that you should use in order to keep your return on ad spend. And I'm gonna show you this later in this video. So, and yeah, this brings me to the second type of scaling. This is horizontal scaling. So here, if you wanna scale horizontally, instead of increasing the budget of a single campaign or ad set, you can create new campaign and ad set targeting different audiences. This can help you reach a wider audience and get more results. Here are some tips that I suggest you try when you try horizontal scaling. So you can target different audiences. When you're creating new campaigns and ad sets, just target different audiences. If you're targeting interests or demographics or behaviors, try behaviors, demographics, or interests similar to this one. Another thing you could test is use lookalike audiences. And I have a different slide for lookalike audiences, but lookalike audiences are a great way to get more sales and leads and make more money in general, because Facebook ads create the audience for you. So you don't think about it. You just create the audience once and you just run ads. And I had amazing, crazy results with lookalike audiences. So I know people say that now you should target broad, now you shouldn't use lookalike audiences, but at the moment I'm recording this video, I have at least 4 or 5 lookalike audiences, and they're bringing amazing, amazing results. Now, the next thing that you could do, you could experiment with different ad creative, but this is something that you need to be very careful with, because I suggest you scale bigger budgets, crazy big budgets, only if you're 100% sure that your ads are getting conversions. So the bigger the budget, the more secure you need to be, the more confident you need to feel in your ads. And the ads that are already getting clicks and conversions are the one you should scale. So at the very end of the day, the results, the most important Facebook ads result is cost per go, and the goal for different business could be different, but some of the most common are cost per lead, cost per purchase, cost per booked call, etc., etc. So before even thinking about scaling, identify what's my most important goal. Is it booking calls? Is it making purchases? Is it making leads? And this is something that you need to know from the start. And the third thing I use to scale, this is using lookalike audiences. And I suggest you start with the lookalike audiences of your end goal. So if you already have 100 purchases, create a lookalike audiences of purchases. If you have enough leads, create a lookalike audiences of your leads. In order to create a lookalike audiences, you need to have 100 conversions from the same locations. So you can create lookalike audiences for each country if you have enough conversions. And this could be really, really powerful thing if you leverage it the right way. Okay, so if you scale, if you become a master Facebook ads expert, usually you'll be using all three scaling methods. For example, you might need to duplicate a lookalike audience and increase the budget. Then the same thing, you might need to duplicate the same lookalike audience, but for different locations. So there are like plenty of variations, and I'm gonna show you how you should use them properly. And now this brings me to the next slide, and I'm gonna repeat it again because it's super important. I know a lot of people will say, oh, you already said that, it's super annoying if you repeat, but no. If you wanna scale, you need to know what works. The first step to scaling is know what works. Know what ad creative works, know what ad copy works, know what offer works, know what targeting setting works. You need to know all that if you want to be good at Facebook ads. And at the very beginning of this presentation, I gave you the pumpkin seed analogy. And right now I'm gonna show you how you can be able to pick the right pumpkin seed. We're gonna go into our Facebook Ads Manager, and we're gonna set our columns right. So let's do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you to open adsmanager.facebook.com /adsmanager/manage/accounts, or if you cannot find it, you can go to All Tools and you can click on Ads Manager. Once you click on Ads Manager, you're gonna see a window that looks like this. And from here, we're gonna go on campaigns. So once you go on campaigns, you're gonna see that our Facebook ads dashboard looks very confusing. They're like all those little columns: delivery, amount spent, budget, impression, reach. And so for some people, this seems very confusing. And in order to avoid the confusion and know what works, you need to set those columns right. So the thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click here when it says columns, and I'm gonna click customize columns. And here from the right menu, I'm just gonna remove everything. And here we're gonna add our columns. So the first thing we need to add is delivery. So I'm just gonna do delivery. Delivery will say if our ads are active or not, if they're approved or not. So it's like super important for us to see how our ads perform. The next thing we're gonna do amount spent. And you can also do amount spent percentage. This is recommended. I usually do just amount spent. The next thing we're gonna do reach. I'm gonna type reach. So reach will tell us how many people we're reaching with our ads. The next column, link clicks. And it's super important for us to type link clicks. This metric will tell us how many people are clicking on our ads. So let me find the right one. I think this is the one, link clicks. So I'm just gonna edit. The next is click-through rate. So I'm gonna type click-through rate, link clicks. This is the one, it says CTR, link click-through rate. I'm gonna edit. We're gonna see out of 1,000 people, how many people actually click on our ads. And this metric is very, very important. The next thing, cost per link click. That will tell us how much a link click cost. So we need CPC, cost per link click. That's the most important one. Then goal number one. So here the goal for my ad account, I think it was appointments. So appointments schedule. So here for me, it's like how many appointments I got scheduled and what's the cost. And here for me, it's like website. So for you, the goal here, it might be leads, it might be purchases, it might be booked calls, it might be something different. So I'm just gonna show you how I just type it. And in order for you to see the metrics to include, you need to set up your pixel. So without setting up your pixel, you won't be able to see the right metric, the right end goal. So here I'm just gonna do total, I'm gonna do cost. Again, if you assigned a value to your leads, you can also include it, but for my case, I didn't do it. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. The next thing I have is cost per go. I already showed you how to do the cost per go. So you do it from here, you select it. So here the Facebook ads will show me how many leads I've generated, the total leads I've generated, and it will show me how much each lead costs. So super, super important. This is like extremely important. That way you'll be able to see if your ads are working. That way you'll be able to see if you're using the right seeds. Next, we have relevance score. I think they changed it. I think they call it quality ranking. So let's do quality ranking. It's gonna say how our ads perform. This is something a little bit more advanced. I don't even use it that much, but I just add it because it's gonna say that my ads are poor in performance. But the most important metric that you should you should check would be like your goal and your cost per goal. For this ad account, this is appointments scheduled and leads. Okay. The next thing we have frequency. So the frequency will show us the average number of times that each user saw our ads. So if we see a frequency of 2, that means a person on Facebook saw our ad twice. If we see a frequency of 10, we're gonna know that a person on Facebook saw our ads 10 times. So frequency is important because if the frequency is like 10 and we're not making any sales, we're not making any leads, that means just people are sick and tired of our ad and we need to change it. That's somehow more advanced. A lot of people follow the frequency. I usually don't follow it that closely. I follow the frequency only for my remarketing campaign. So I usually try not to go over 10 or 20. But again, if I'm getting good cost per lead, good cost per appointments scheduled, I just keep on running the frequency. So this is something I'd say advanced. So know about the frequency. The next thing, quality ranking, we already added this. Cost per 1,000 people reach. So Facebook calls it cost per 1,000 accounts center reached. So I'm just gonna edit. This will show us how much it costs to reach 1,000 people on Facebook. So different audiences will cost us different. For example, if you want to target entrepreneurs in the USA, they might be a lot more expensive compared to if you want to target accountants in the USA. Each audience costs different, and this is one of the best metrics for you to know how much your ads cost. And the last column that we're gonna add is CPM. This is cost per 1,000 impression. So there is a difference between reach and impressions. When we say reach, when we say this ad has reach of 10, that means the ad reached 10 people. But if we say that this ad has 10 impressions, that means that it could even mean that one person saw the ad 10 times. So when we say reach, we mean unique. When we say impressions, we just mean how many times the ad showed on the feed. And here, in order to set this preset, there is a little thingy at the top very bottom where it says save preset. And I'm just gonna mark it, and I'm gonna say save the preset, and I'm gonna give it a name, and I'm gonna type stats1. And you can use different stats, but this is the one I use the most. So here, if I select stats1 and if I click maximum, I'll be able to see how my ad account is performing. And here, I'm just gonna see how my ads are working. So I have leads. Here I have appointments scheduled. This is not working for me for some reason because I didn't set it up for this ad account. But based on that, I can read my results. I can see that this ad set delivered one lead. So another metric, another way for us to decide will be just to read the ads, but it's like super important to know what is the best performing ad set. So here, again, the delivery says these ads are off. If I select this ad campaign on, it will say active, and that way I know that this ad is active. If I turn it off again, it will say that is off. So it's like super important to have the delivery. That way you know if you're running ads or not. The second super important column would be the ad spend. You'll know how much you're spending. We have the reach. For example, this campaign reached 5,326 people. We have the link clicks. Almost 250 people clicked on this ad. The link click-through rate is 0.67%. The cost per link click is $2.46. And this campaign delivered one lead, and the cost per lead is like $612. This is not the case here. This is just a test ad account. I think I had different goals, but they got mixed up. So the frequency is almost 7. So pretty much everybody on the audience saw my ads 7 times. The cost to reach 1,000 unique people account centers on Facebook was $114, and the cost to reach 1,000 impression was 16.46. Now, I think I had different stats for this campaign. So let me try to find it. Again, here, if you use columns and stats, you'll be able to see different results. So if I switch to delivery, I'm seeing different stats. If I switch it to performance and clicks, yeah, here my goal was website applications submitted. So yeah, that was the one I should have used, but it doesn't really matter. So this is the account, and I opened the account, I've set up everything right, and I know that this campaign has 18 booked calls, and the cost per book call is $35. So if I want to scale this campaign, I can increase the budget of this campaign. So I'm just gonna open it, and here I have 18 submitted applications. So for me to increase the budget, all I need to do is just go click on edit and find the budget. Let me find it where it was. So here's the budget, but in order for me to change it, I think I need to start the campaign. So here, if I want to change the budget, I'm just gonna again select the campaign I want to scale. I'm just gonna open it. I'm gonna click edit. And I think I've set the budget on the campaign level. Yeah. So here the budget is like 50. So if I want to scale it by 20%, I'm just gonna change it to, let's say, how much is, I think 60. 60 will be 20% change, and I'm gonna click save. And this is a way to scale vertically. Another way for me to scale vertically would be to duplicate the same ad set. I'm just gonna click duplicate and change the budget. And while duplicating it, I'm just gonna change the budget from 60 to 120. And if I wanna keep a good cost per result, I'm just gonna use campaign bid strategy. I'm gonna set it at cost per go. And here, I'm just gonna set the cost per go of a goal I can afford. So I'm just gonna click publish just to show you. So this is a way to scale vertically. And what cost per go result will help us do? Facebook ads won't spend our money because we're gonna set a cost per result. And so here, if I click edit, I'm gonna set the cost per result to $25. And I'm saying Facebook, hey Facebook, don't spend my money if the cost per go cannot be around 25. So this is a way to scale and keep the return on ad spend, adding cost per go. It's like super important. A lot of people don't test cost per go and they overspend. So I highly suggest you use the cost per go bidding strategy and see how it works for you. Even if you don't use it, even if you remove the cost per go from here, if you set it to maximize results, you're still good, but keep in mind that maximize results might be spending a lot of money. So I'd say use both. I'd say test every strategy, especially if you're running high budget. So here your question might be, how much should I put at a cost per go? For example, if you sell a product that is like $100 and your profit margin is like 50%, I'd say start it from like, for the money you can actually afford to spend, $50, let's say. And if the Facebook ads is not spending your budget, keep on increasing the cost per go until you start spending money on ads. So usually if my ad account wasn't spending money, I would change the budget to 60 on the next day, 70, 80 until Facebook ads start spending my budget. And this was vertical scaling. If I wanted to do horizontal scaling, what I could do would be like to duplicate this ad set. I'm just gonna click duplicate. And here I can change. So I'm targeting some interests, and I can change the country. I can target Canada, for example, right? I can target Australia. Here with the same ads, I can target different interests. Let's say I'm gonna target, let's say, business. So this is one of my ad sets, business and finance. So I'm gonna duplicate it. And I'm gonna name this business and finance. And for the country, I'm gonna do United States, let's say. And here I'm gonna click publish. So the horizontal scaling, I'm just changing the audience, right? The budget stays the same, but I could also use a combination of the horizontal and vertical. And while changing the budget, I might change the audience as well. That way I might go to different audiences. Here, if I'm targeting ages 18 to 35, let's say, to 40, I might duplicate this, but change the age from 18 to 65 plus. So there are like endless possibilities to target. I mean, to scale Facebook ads, but those are the most basic ones. But the most important thing that you need to be able to see would be your results. And this will happen through setting up your pixel the right way. And this will happen up through setting your columns the right way. So from here, if I want to select the columns I set for myself, I'm just going to choose stats. And here I'll be able to see all my goals. Okay, so this is the scaling model. For me, maybe it took me a week to understand how to scale. The good thing about scaling is that you can go really quickly from 1 to 800, but you just need to know what works. So for example, if I switch to performance and clicks, I know that this campaign performed very good. This campaign performed very good, delivering 18 appointments. And if I click on this campaign, if I click here, I can see the ad that got me the best result. So this ad got 12 booked phone calls. And this is something that I know it works. So it's very reasonable next step for me to scale this ad and go to different audiences, increase the budget, use this ad in a lookalike, etc., etc. But it is pretty simple stuff once you understand it. When we talk about Facebook ads and media buying, there is a huge think about spending money on ads. So running Facebook ads is actually not easy, but I think it's a skill that is worth learning. because with Facebook ads, you can transform pretty much any business. If a business is getting, let's say, 10 customers per day, with Facebook ads, you can get the business to 20, 40, 100 customers per day if you really know what you're doing. So I truly believe that understanding how Facebook ads work is something critical for your business success, because to be honest with you, as you can see yourself, Facebook ads, they require work, but they're not that complicated. So make sure you take your time, learn the ads. If you have any questions, you can contact me on Instagram. So go find me on Insta. I usually try to reply very, very quickly. So n.velikov is my Instagram handle. You can find me, you can send me a message, you can let me know that you purchased the Targeting Academy, and I'm just gonna help you set up your ad account the right way. And yeah, this was the training for today. Go ahead, test different ads, try scaling. Beware that you might need to monitor the ads very, very closely the first 3-4 days, even every day. So my process is I check my ads 4 to 5 times per day. I have the Facebook ads app on my phone, and I monitor what's happening pretty much every day. So this was training for today. If you have any questions, DM me on Insta, and go ahead now and check the bonus videos in the Targeting Academy. Thank you for watching.